your Spirit rest on them. May be able to speak from their heart. Make this very good in Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So Amber, just a little bit, your story.
Okay. My conversion story probably kind of happened over the last 8 years or so. I was always raised Catholic, did all the external Catholic things, went to Mass, went to daily Mass most of my life, prayed the rosary. So I always thought I was a good Catholic. And then I always kind of bemoaned the fact that I didn't have this really great conversion story. Like my husband has this really great lightning moment, where he encounters the Lord. And I didn't ever have that. And I thought, well, that must just be because I'm, I've been Catholic all my life. I've never really strayed. I try to be a good Catholic. And so when we had our son, Max, who's 8 now, and he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, God to me at that point was a genie. And really when I needed to have faith, when I needed to have a relationship with God, this first kind of moment in my life where suffering entered, I really didn't have anything to rely on. So God to me, just because of my circumstances, was a genie. And I thought, well, I've been good, so I can ask something of God. I can ask for this healing and he'll give it to me, because you had told me once too. He was like Santa Claus to me. So I've been good, I should get good things. So I kind of chased this miracle for Max, and we went to all these healing masses and things like that. And over the years, he wasn't healed. And I just felt like my faith was crumbling. Our daughter then, about 5 years, he was 5 years old, had a stroke. And I just was dumbfounded. I just thought, oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do here? God must want something from me. I need to start praying. I need to start having a relationship with God. But it was kind of out of desperation. I was frantic while I was going into my prayer life. And God then became to me someone, well, maybe I can barter with him. I can do this transaction. Like if I'm giving him my time, I'm giving him my prayer, then it'll be harder for him to say no to me when I go to him. And then our daughter, Louisa, our last daughter, was born with spina bifida and a genetic disorder. And I remember just being bowed low, just like, I don't know anything. Is God wrathful? Is he punishing? So I just had to kind of stand back and be like, Lord, I know nothing. I've made you a puppet, whatever circumstances in my life, I dressed you up in that way. And my faith seems like a sham, and I need you to rebuild my faith. I need you to reveal yourself to me. And then in that surrender is when I finally discovered God and discovered peace and joy and what he was asking of me.
It was the first, any kind of pain really I had experienced in my life, any kind of real pain, that I had really experienced in my life. And at the time, I would have said, yeah, it was a tragedy, but it was the first time I had really, now that looking back, it's the first time I'd ever experienced the cross. We were told, right?
Right.
Immediately we were told, almost in a superstitious way.
With Max.
You don't claim it. Do not claim any of this
Right.
negative stuff.
Don't claim the diagnosis.
Yeah.
He'll
God
be
is
healed.
he's gonna be healed. You claim that healing.
Yeah. So for years, that's what we did. And it was hard not to believe that this was what God wanted,
Right.
and people were always like, you're due for a miracle.
Right.
We're like, yeah,
Right.
I feel like we are too.
Right.
It took a long time. It was definitely a practice of mine to be like, Lord, not my will, but yours.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, but if you would like to heal my daughter, but it was really a practice. And finally it was just like, no, Lord, if this is your will, and our children are not to be healed because that is how you have created them to be, and they have their own vocation, and you have a plan for them as they are, then, just give us strength to, follow out your plan and surrender
And even, we know he's speaking to us because we change over time. I think, whenever I talk about prayer, I talk about what happened to Amber when she started reading the Gospels every day and reflecting on the Gospels with Jesus. And it was a profound change in her life that I watched, witnessed from the outside, that she didn't even see. But we all watched it. What was some of the changes?
I became a nice person. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
That's the problem. You were always a nice person. So something changed.
no, but
Thank
like,
you,
like things like that were real concrete, not such a quick temper. She was so patient with everything and I was thinking, like, how is she getting so patient, right? Like, I want some of that, and just virtue, really growing in virtue, and just amazing to watch. It really was.
And Dave has really helped me spiritually grow.
Amber's helped me.
And I mean, just, that one saying, I remember really kind of rocked my world. Like, you can't be angry at God if you don't have a relationship with him. It was just like, wow, that was a turning point in my life, and that came from my husband. It's like, I'm so grateful to God for that,
You don't think about, like, I know you're not supposed to say, like, you believe in soulmates, but pretty much it's been that way.
Eye roll.
But I mean, it's been that. It's like every time we go through something or we have this journey in life, it's like, oh, thank God this is who I'm with. And I think for us, they say, like, if you're married, that's how you're going to get to heaven. There's no question in my mind that it's in our marriage is where we will go to heaven, right? In our vocation to marriage.
And I'm grateful to God because it's like with every, hardship, it brought us closer together. And we've been so blessed to be able to journey on this road together.
We know that we're fulfilled in having a relationship with God right now, and we're so joyful, but we're so happy because we get to spend our eternity with him. And the empty tomb is one of the greatest things you could ever see in your life.
And I feel, too, I used to want like the longest life and, perfect health and happiness and,
Ooh, take me now.
But really it is that feeling like, I'm so glad that this isn't all there is. And that we have heaven to wait for, and that we'll be with Jesus, and there will be no more tears, and it's a joyful thought. And I think that gives you such a different perspective. And if I thought that this was all there is, that would be a sad, depressing thought. It would be, but this is not supposed to be heaven on earth. And I think that's where so much of our joy goes, is that we realize this is not...
He is who he said he was.
He is who he said he was.